Give me a candle, Father.
So you finally came, Mirza Koochack Khan. I was starting to lose hope.
Can you see, Father?
Can't you see, son? You do know that I'm blind.
Then how'd you know it was me?
It's not hard to recognize you. Even a person born blind can recognize you, Mirza Koochack Khan.
Stop taunting me, man. What are you trying to prove? Do you want me to go and worship a tree and swear that there's been a miracle and this old blind man that sells candles can see?
In that case, people will start to whisper in each other's ears and say that Mirza Koochack's gone mad. Don't devalue miracles, Mirza. Why don't you put it this way? This old man has good hearing, and he knows the people of Mosul one by one, even if they didn't say a word. I can recognize them by their footsteps, their laugh, the way they cry at the foot of the miracle tree. The way that people cry is different from each other, Mirza. Did you know that?
I don't know.
I was waiting for you since the noon prayers, dear boy. They said as soon as Mirza Jr. entered Mosul, they closed the roads behind him. They said Mirza Koochack Khan either has to surrender or they'll destroy Mosul. They said this is the only way we'd survive. Did they or didn't they?
I don't know. I don't know what to say.
You don't know? That's terrible. That's really, really bad. Oh, the youngsters of Gilan, the youth have put their lives in your hands and are waiting for your command. In the middle of winter, the women and children are homeless and wandering around the mountains because of you, and you don't know what to do? It's really too bad that you don't know. It's really, really bad.
Why are you bullying me, Dervish? How is all this my fault?
You do know, Commander. A person who fights for the love of God is never afraid or confused. But you are both afraid and confused.
I'm afraid.
A warrior that's not afraid never says, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do.
What if there's nothing left for him to do?
Of course there is something you can do, Commander of the Jungle. Oh, dear boy. Why are you so weak? Why are you weak, Mirza Koochack Khan of the Jungle?
Losing makes people weak. If I'd come down here on a pilgrimage, would you still have the courage to talk to me like this?
Hey, Mirza Jr., be careful about how you talk to me. Defeat doesn't make everyone weak. Oh. Aren't you a Shia of Hussein, man? Did defeat make him stronger, or, God forbid, make him weak?
God forbid.
Are you comparing yourself to him, Commander? What are you talking about? What are you doing here anyway? Are you here on a pilgrimage? Why are you here? Perhaps you're here to complain to God about not making things go as you wanted. I thought Mirza Koochack Khan's a humble man. I was waiting for you to come to the land of the poor and weak, buy a candle and light it at the foot of the miracle tree. Oh. I thought Mirza Koochack Khan was a humble man. I thought you were strong and courageous. I thought you'd come here to ask for help, to see what you need, to do. But instead, you're here saying you don't even know what you have to do. Huh? Now that it's come down to combat, killing or being killed or surrendering, or being defeated and eliminated, oh, perhaps you should be here on a pilgrimage. Perhaps you should be praying for all the women and children and young men fighting and dying. Praying for strength and guidance. I don't know if Mirza Koochack even knows how to pray or not.
So you go ahead and pray for Mirza Koochack Khan. Pray that he'll come to good. He's only human. He can make mistakes. You never know. He might have just been tricked by his high self-esteem.
Mirza Koochack Khan doesn't have the chance to be tricked anymore. He's taken a road that people are following him in large groups. Anyone who takes this kind of road has to be courageous, as Ismail, who wasn't even afraid of being sacrificed in the name of God, and Ibrahim, who was brave enough to sacrifice his own son. So replacing him is impossible.
Do you want to keep that fire burning?
Is there a problem with that, Mirza Ismail Khan?
No. It's just that the enemies will see you, but you can't see them.
The enemies have been shooting and killing us since this morning without being able to see us. They're as powerful as God.
Put that fire out.
Very well, Ismail Khan. I'll put it out right now.
Here, take these to the trenches on the top of the hill. See if they need anything so we can send it to them.
Very well.
Is he sleeping?
Who?
Your Uncle Mirza.
Yeah.
Are you feeling better?
No.
I've known your Uncle Mirza for a year now, but I've never seen him sleep so quickly and easily.
You don't know my Uncle Mirza.
Well, you do. What do you think he's going to do tomorrow morning?
Listen, Yosef, I've made up my mind. If he decides to surrender, I will stop him no matter what it takes. Even if I have to tie him up or even imprison him somewhere around Mosul.
Surrender? What makes you think that he's going to surrender?
I just know. Ever since Bagdanov came and spoke to him, he doesn't look like himself anymore. I know what he's thinking.
You think he's going to surrender to the Russians?
If he decides to, what are you going to do?
I know that he's not going to. You're hallucinating, boy. Do you really think Mirza's a child and believes a word the Russians say?
You know, Yosef, if Bagdanov had told me to surrender so they wouldn't hurt others, I might have thought about sacrificing my own life for them. My own life.
You might get fooled easily, but Mirza's a warrior. He knows that this is just a trick. Come on, get up. 1,000 things may happen until tomorrow morning. Maybe they played all these games so they'd attack us at night time. Come on, let's go and check up on Sheikh Ali's trench.
You think they will attack tonight?
Oh, it's not unlikely.
I hope they won't.
Come on, get up, let's go.
I'm not going. I'm going to stay here and keep an eye on everything.
Okay, you stay here and stand guard over your Uncle Mirza too.
Uncle Mirza! Uncle Mirza! Wait up, Uncle Mirza! Uncle Mirza! Wake up, Uncle Mirza! Uncle Mirza! Wait up! Don't go any closer! Don't go any closer! Uncle Mirza! Don't go any closer! Wait! Uncle Mirza! Uncle Mirza! Wait up!
The resignation of Nikolai, the minister of the Iranian government from Petrograd. This message was sent out. By divine dispensation, we would like to inform the loyal people of the country that the National Parliament has agreed with the resignation of Nikolai II, Emperor of Russia, and the King of Poland, and the Duke of Finland.
All the Russian troops that were in Rasht and Enzali have gone to Baku by ship. They're receiving a lot of bad news from the West. People who were returning from Iraq and Kermanshah talking about tragic events like theft, plunder, murder. This type of news has terrified the people of Rasht and Enzali. Some of them are even thinking about immigrating. They want to escape before all the tragic plundering gets to Rasht.
Because the people want security, Mr. Governor.
Security? Only 10 militia forces, 6 policemen, 30 or 40 Cossacks that are coming back from the west, huh?
Hello. Keeping two big cities like Rasht and Anzali isn't so easy. And taking on this huge responsibility by the jungle isn't so simple either.
Everyone's relying on the armed troops of the jungle. People are all taking shelter in the mosques at the house of Mr. Syed Mahmud, the clergy, because of their fear of these Gog and Magogs. Plundering is even way past Kazvin, as well as the Manjil Bridge. Now it's going from the Alborz mountain range down to the sea. The Russian consuls escaped. Cossacks won't take orders from their ranking officers.
What are the Russian commanders saying about our interferences?
Even they don't have enough information about the conditions of their country yet. The meeting that I had with General Baratov in Kazvin, he said that he wants the Russian troops under his command to go back to Russia with honor. You have to visit Ginia Georgiadze. He's the leading representative of Batanov. I've come to listen to what you have to say. Do you have any specific suggestion?
We have some conditions for you as the governor of Gilan and the representative of the central government. And also some conditions for the Russian commander and their representatives.
The most definite matter is whether you or even the Russian representative agree or disagree with our conditions or not. We will not change any of our intentions or decisions.
The Russians will leave this country with or without any dispute. Either way, they'll have to deal with the people of the jungle.
Is this what the Central Committee of the Islamic Union has decided on?
Yes.
What are your expectations from the court?
We expected to grant the commander of the jungle the authority of all the militia forces and police officers that are left in Rasht and Anzali.
They're obliged to cooperate with you.
Cooperation is just a cliche, Mr. Governor. They have to obey us. We have many followers in this city, and at the same time we have many enemies. It isn't unlikely that they would do anything to ruin our reputation. That's why the police headquarters must be managed by someone from the jungle.
Appointing a manager for the police headquarters is within the authority of the government.
Isn't providing security for the people within the authority of the government? Don't you have a police department? Then why doesn't it provide people with security?
It'll take almost 10 months for the Russian army to leave Anzali. During this time, the government of Rasht has to be under the authority of the commander of the jungle.
You want to take possession of the government of Gilan. Why don't you come clean and just say it? You intend to invade the province, except without war and shedding blood.
You can call our suggestion whatever it is you want. Have you come here on behalf of the central government? The people have forced you to come here. You don't even have the slightest ability to enforce the regulations. If you did, then you wouldn't have come here.
What you're trying to do is pretend to be the defenders of the people, and that is by inviting the representative of the government to keep your rebellious actions under your hats.
The rich people of Rasht and Anzali, the ones that could escape, have all hit the road. And those poor and unfortunate ones who've stayed in the cities are all hoping for the people of the jungle to save them. It's only because of them the people of the jungle want to come to the city. Whether the central government approves or doesn't, tomorrow the people of the jungle will enter Rasht with Mirza behind them.
Whenever the representative...
Colonel Georgia Zer will be coming to the palace for negotiations. A person from their side and one from your side.
What about you?
I won't be there.
Aren't you going to attend the meeting?
No. How many governments does one province have? If I attend these meetings, it would mean that the central government has approved of you governing Gilan.
The governor's so angry.
He should be, poor man. No matter what happens anywhere in the world, something terrible has to happen to us too.
Huh. So, what's going on in the world?
So, you guys don't know yet?
No, what is it?
A new revolution started. The government in Russia's changed.
Are you serious?
Yeah, man. Kurnas Kyum's escaped.
He escaped? Thank God. Maybe these damn good-for-nothing Cossacks will leave this province too.
I wish they would. All they do is plunder. The Russian troops are out of control. They don't have any rations or wages. Why don't they go back to their own country? They trade in a machine gun for a mule, and a gun for a bottle of liquor. Shame.
God damn them all.
They steal, they plunder. They say they've set fire to the market of Oromia. It's all their new emperor's fault.
You're right.
What's his name? I don't remember.
Lenin. His name's Lenin.
That's it. That's his name.
Lenin.
He's ordered the Russian troops to go back to Russia as soon as possible. How do you know Lenin?
Well, I get the news about these things way before you do.
How do you?
We have a newspaper.
What is it? Is it his name?
Yes, it is. Jungle.
Where would you like the meeting to be held? Mirza doesn't want it to be in Rasht.
Don't expect the Russians to come to Kazmar. If they come to the Friday market, it'll be much safer.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, please. We'll be ready tomorrow 2 hours before noon, but only on one condition. The Russians have to agree with our conditions without any haggling. They have to accept that starting the negotiations means accepting this suggestion.
I can't decide for them. The only thing that I can really do is to inform them of your message.
All the military centers from Manjil Bridge to Anzali Port after the Russian forces leave must be handed over to the jungle forces.
not to the government.
Are you joking?
Goodbye.
This second condition's pretty harsh. First, it was all about the development of the government, but now it's about the government of all the provinces.
When the Russian army leaves, Mirza will be 2 steps away from entering the capital. And the first step will be taken tomorrow.
Manjil Bridge, 1917.
After handing over the police station and the Manjil Bridge to the jungle forces, almost all the lands of Gilan were within the domain of the movement's authority. The bridge of Manjil that connected the 2 paths of Sefid River, and since the gateway towards the southern mountain ranges of Alborz was in the narrow mountain path, it was of great military importance. It was also known as the key to conquering Gilan, meaning any advancing soldiers who wanted to enter Gilan had to pass through this narrow mountain path and bridge. Control over the Manjil Bridge by the people of the jungle officially appointed them as the governors of Gilan.
Long live Mirza! Long live the jungle! 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 Long live Mirza!
The gendarmerie Cossacks and the police headquarters were all under the authority of the people of the jungle. Ismail Jhangali was appointed as the head of the police headquarters of Rasht. However, the mastermind of the jungle group was the Islamic Board of Union, except for some of the clerics and religious authorities. Mirza Koochack Khan, who was still suffering from the injury caused by the fight with the Russians, had now become the first man of the province and was commanding in the center of the province. Now it is the time when the political conditions of the Russians in Iran has diminished, and a complete fallback has begun. Soldiers are divided into two groups of pro-socialists and anti-Bolsheviks. Meanwhile, disorganization, plundering, and robbing of some cities is underway, and some other wild behavior was heading towards Kazvin and then to Gilan. The people of the jungle, who were in charge of keeping the area safe by negotiating with the representatives of the Russian army, had come to some agreements. And that's how the Russian soldiers were allowed to pass through the gates from Kazvin to Anzali with complete organization and in harmony. And for the further safety of Rasht, commuting for the Russian troops was forbidden after 8 at night. Mounted police were in charge of the safety and security of the road between Manjil and Anzali. The military commanders of the Russians had given their word to immediately investigate any kind of disorganization or any possible crimes committed by their troops. And to make up for all the damage caused, in spite of all these promises, there were still some indecent actions by the drunk and out-of-control soldiers. Therefore, an English general by the name of Denstraville, in disguise, accompanied by one of the Tsar's ranking officers, started off their journey from Kazvin to Anzali port in order to investigate the condition and situation of the Russians who had undergone revolution. This English general was assigned by the Supreme Commander of the British Army to organize and arm the dispersed Russian army who were against the socialist system and to deploy them to the Western Front line where the Russian Tsar army was lacking.
Hey, come on! Come on, come on! Come on! Nothing! Come over here, man! Come over here! I have something to tell you! Come in! Be careful! Up! 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 No, that's not good! That's not good! Careful!
Tell Mirza Shafi I've come from the Russian consulate to fetch him.
What business do they have with him?
Perhaps the Russian consul has some important business. I don't know.
Who are you?
I'm the consul's boatman. Hello?
Hello.
Hello. Are you Mr. Mirza Shafi?
What's your business with Mirza Shafi?
The consul wants to see him urgently.
Where's Sayed Yahya? Why hasn't he come?
He wasn't feeling well. I came instead of him. I'm his brother-in-law. What's the difference? Don't even think about it. Don't move, or else I'll waste a bullet on you.
How are you, Mirza Shafi? The Russian consul sent us to welcome you.
He has a gun.
Well, Prusy, go take it from him.
Be careful.
Stay there, next to him.
Start walking.
Get up, cousin. Your job's done here. You can go now. Get on the boat and leave immediately.
All right.
Get out of here fast. Well, Mirza Shafi, what I'm about to tell you is the verdict of the court. You've been convicted of betraying religion, betraying the country, lying and betraying the people of the jungle, spying for the Western infidel, and torturing the people of the jungle in prison. On behalf of the revolutionary court, you've been sentenced to execution by default. We're all here for the execution of the sentence. If you have any last words, go ahead.
No, I don't have any last words. Just let me say my prayers.
Go ahead. Say your prayers. Say your last words to God. And ask for forgiveness. Maybe you'll be forgiven.
Do you even know how to say prayers, you infidel?
Pussy.
He's feigning righteousness. He's up to something.
Everyone's responsible for their own sins. Maybe he wants to ask God for forgiveness before he dies. Pray.
Jiggali, you know, I really don't have the heart to shoot this poor man of God. Let me off this one.
What? Didn't we promise each other that we'd execute the sentence, all three of us? Now you're trying to back out?
Now all of a sudden you're filled with compassion? Have you forgotten what he used to do to us in prison? Have you forgotten how many people he ratted out in the Russian prison and got them all killed?
He deserves this. We're obliged to execute the sentence.
I know we have to execute the sentence. But you have to let me off.
Didn't we have an agreement? Are you backing out, Kazam Khan?
Leave me alone. I can't do it. I've never shot anyone.
It seems that I have to be the chief executioner again.
We'll shoot him together.
1, 2, 3. Ha! Showing mercy to a hungry wolf is being cruel to the sheep. Ha!
چقدر جنگل خوسی ملت وسیع خسته نبوسی می جان جانانا ترگم میرزا کوچک خانا خدا دانه که من نتانم خفتن از ترس دشمن بی دل آویزانم چرا زودتر نایی تندر نایی تنها بنایی گیلان ویرانم ترگم میرزا کوچک خانم چقدر جنگل خوسی ملت وسیع خسته